Coach, why don't you talk about the new additions to your staff and why you think you needed to make the changes?
Well, you know, we want to be, you know, we want to win championships around here, and at the end of the day, you know, I like the way the staff came together. I think it's been, we've had a very productive winter. We've had a really good few weeks. Meetings have gone well. I like the way things are coming together, and really like the way it's, like I said, it's been it's come together very very much the way I like it, the way I expected it to, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about where we are and where we are heading forward.
With Tim taking over the offensive coordinator duties, what made him the guy that you wanted to take on that role?
You know, you got to go with what you feel is the best. You know, is going to be the best thing for your football team, and everything that it just kept coming back to the same guy, and I have a great level of trust, a great level of confidence in Tim, and what we're very much on the same page philosophically, and what we want to do, where we are, and what we're going to do going forward. And it was pretty easy choice for me.
Is that something that kind of built over 3 years, Bo, constantly talking to him and kind of getting a feel for what he thought and what you thought?
Absolutely. It's you know, you have experience with somebody, and you see that I went that way in all my choices of how I filled out the staff. You know, I believe you got to be on the same page philosophically, the same page of where the types of people you bring in, and people who are going to represent me, the program, everything in a certain way. And you know, it goes beyond just X's and O's. It goes beyond not you know, in the game of football, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it, and how you're going to get to a certain point. And I believe that you know, I want to surround myself with, number one, people that I trust. Number two, people that I have a lot of confidence in, people of high character, people who are going to communicate well with players, people who are believe in the same things I do, value-wise, discipline, accountability, all those things that we've built this program on, and are the foundation of how we go about things. And I know I've gotten that, and I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to the future and how we've set it up.
Well, what do you want to see different from your offense?
Efficiency. There's a number of things. I don't want to get into the whole what we're doing offensively. That'll play out in time. And like I said, I'm extremely excited about where we are. Let me tell you, we've done some very good things offensively, and I don't think there's you know, it's not just, but like I said, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, how you get to things. And very much the same philosophy we have on defense, multiple but simple. And let the players develop a true understanding of what we're doing. And not just what you're doing and memorizing what you're doing, but why are you doing it? So then you can react, you can play fast, you can play confident. I wanted to mirror the philosophy that we have defensively on the offensive side of the ball, and that's what we've done.
What's the biggest challenge of making a transition to a new offensive system?
No challenge. It's just like anything else. It's just get them, you know, teach, work hard. You know, make sure you stress the certain principles, and you have an identity, and you live it every day. And like I said, I like where we are as far as that's concerned, and it's very clear to me of what I want, what I wanted when I hired the staff, when I put this thing together, and what we have to do going forward. And I have a very clear picture in my head of what I wanted and what I want going forward, and that's what I'm working towards. That's what we're working towards.
Did you consider any other offensive coordinators?
Somewhat, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you consider all your options, but like I said, it all kept coming back to the same thing for me.
Hey, Bo, if Beck was on staff last year, didn't he have Watson's ear on any of this stuff?
Oh yeah. Like I said, it's not as much what you do. Sometimes it's how you do it. And I felt there were some. I think Watts is a tremendous football coach. Smart, intelligent, good teacher, all those things. But what I felt needed changed was the system. And so. That's you just get to a certain point where I felt like a change was needed, and was in the best interest of the program of changing out the system, bringing in some fresh ideas, a whole new system, and do it going forward. And I thought this was the right time to do it.
Coach,
so, I mean, it's pretty obvious I mean, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't feel it was in the best interest of the program.
when did you come to that conclusion that you felt like that change was?
I'm not going to talk about that. That's something I mean, you go with, I believe I analyze things. I go back and, every single year as you go on, this just doesn't happen at the end of the year, week by week, you say, okay, what do you have to do? What do you have to do to get better? And you're always got to be searching for ways to get better, to improve, to make your program better, make your football team better in every phase of the game, and you got to make the decisions that you feel are in the program's best interest as you move forward, and that's what I've done.
Well, what have you heard from the team, and also even the recruiting class that you just brought in? How have they reacted to the changes so far?
Well, I mean, these kids are resilient. They, I think they're excited about, I mean, there's always, anytime you have change, people are, no one in this world, very few people like change, but, it's all part of the deal. You have to teach them. You have to, as they develop a confidence, then, they're resilient, and and I think that's what we've seen. I think they're excited. And I think they're going to be more excited, and they're going to really like it as they develop a better knowledge of what we're doing in every area, offensively, defensively, special teams. We've made some changes, and I think it's going to make us a better football team going forward, and I think that'll be real obvious to our football team.
Coach, you said you wanted the offense to have an identity. What is that identity? What you're looking for?
Well, I could sit here and talk about it all, for a long time, and but you'll see that when we roll that ball out there in September. It's going to be like I said, it's multiple but simple. You got to be aggressive. We're going to be an aggressive, attacking style offense. Period. And the story, and there's a lot of different ways to do that, and I'm not going to sit here and get into it and say we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to attack people. We're going to get after them, and we're going to attack them in a lot of different ways. And
how's that contrast from what you were doing?
We're going to do it, and we're going to do it better.
But you said you wanted to take a physical offense into the Big Ten, and Beck's back.
We will be physical.
In spread.
You can be, it's interesting you say that. Everybody wants to talk about spread. Like, there's a lot of different ways of running a spread offense. There's a lot of different aspects to what you do. You have to be precise, you have to execute, and you have to have efficiency no matter what you do. And there's a lot of different ways to be physical. There's a lot of, it's just because you line up in a spread offense or you line up in a two-back offense doesn't mean one's physical and one's not. You have to be multiple in what you do, but at the same time, you got to have a lot of same as for your players, so they can be aggressive, come off the ball, play with technique, play with fundamentals, and understand the scheme so you can adjust and make adjustments as you move along. And That's what we do defensively. It's nothing magical. And that's where we're headed offensively.
Bo, does anything carry over from the other offense, or are you pretty much from scratch?
No, there's some to carry over, but there's a lot of things that are different.
Bo, you talked about, in terms of your defense, you had to rebuild it from scratch when you came here in 08. And although it got progressively better, you kind of talked about how the light started to click on about midway through the 2009 season. Is it going to take that long for the offense to make that transition? I mean, is this a longer process than 3 months? Is it a 12-month thing where it's going to have to take time for the players to learn how to think on the run?
No. I mean, there's a lot, like I said, there is enough carryover. There's they have to I think the understanding is going to get better as you move forward. There's no question there, but you hope you progress and get better each and every week. The more opportunities you have to hone your trade and to get better, the better off you're going to be. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes work, but we're not where we want to be defensively yet. And we're moving forward. You keep making progress. That's what I envision for our offense. But there is a lot of carryover. It's what's changed is how we're going to get to it. A lot of the terminology is different. We've simplified a lot of things, and we've like I said, I could sit here and talk X's and O's and talk about the system all day, and it wouldn't mean a heck of a lot to the people listening. So, like I said, I'm really excited about what we're doing and how we're doing it, and that's all I care about right now. And as we move forward, we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to be ready when the ball kicks off in September. There's no question.
Where's your quarterback position at right now, heading into spring?
Like every other position, I mean, there's a lot of guys that we have talent. We have guys that need to get better and work and I mean, I guess that's what spring practice is for. It's just the next step in the process for me. We have a lot to accomplish. We have 15 practices, and we got to come out of it each and every day. We're working towards being a better football team, and position by position, each guy on the football team needs to buy in, work hard, make an investment, and we need to get better, across the board. And that's the challenge you have going through spring practice.
Do you have any position changes or injury situations going into the spring?
Yeah, we have a couple guys that are going to. I can't think of all of them right off the top of my head as far as the injuries. I know Cameron Meredith will be out for the spring, and Jeremiah Searles will be out for the spring. They had, they won't participate, but they're in great shape. They'll be ready to roll pretty soon after spring ball, and they'll be in good shape for the summertime. Kenny Anderson just had surgery, so he won't be out there in spring practice. We moved Jay Cotton from the defensive line to the offensive line, and we're excited about that. That's going to provide us with depth and another guy who we think is going to be outstanding on the offensive side of the football, on the offensive line. It adds to a pretty deep group, and that's probably the most significant changes you'll hear. Well, back during the season we moved Eric Martin to defensive end, and we're keeping him there right now.
Sean Fisher, is he ready to go for spring?
Fisher's ready to roll.
Meredith Searles, can you say what those injuries are?
Searles was a shoulder. I think Cameron was a shoulder too. They were both shoulders. Like I said, they're both in pretty good shape. They both could probably go through probably the end of spring, but we're at that point where you want to get them 100%. And
what about Caputo? Is he okay?
Caputo's fine.
Is he going to practice in spring?
Oh yeah.
What was the thinking behind going to two full-time assistants working with the line, and also a little bit about John Garrison moving from that intern role up to full-time?
Well, just figure, John will also be working with the tight ends, and you need more eyes up there. What I did is when I put together the offensive staff almost to a man, each guy on the staff can coach multiple positions, which gives you a lot of flexibility in practice, how you work with guys, get extra sets of eyes, different sets of eyes on different position groups. There's a lot of flexibility on our offensive staff. Ron Brown's coached multiple positions, Tim Beck, Rich Fisher, he's coached in a couple different positions. He's been on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, which I like. You always need extra hands. I mean, you just look at my philosophy defensively, we have Carl, JP, working with the defensive line. That's only 4 guys. When you have 5 guys in the offensive front, that's almost half your group, and it just helps. Plus, Coach Cotton is somebody who has been an offensive coordinator, can help with the running game, passing game, a lot of different things. Has a pretty extensive background. So I just like the flexibility it gave us, and I talked to a lot of people about it. I thought at the end of the day it was a way to go to make our football team better.
What else impressed you about Coach Fisher?
I've known Fish for a long time, and talked a lot of football with him. And I don't know if you remember back in 2003, I almost hired him on the defensive side of the football. And outstanding football coach, great guy, has the right principles, great communicator. I mean, same thing I saw in the rest of the guys. I'm real excited about him.
Hey, Bo, what spot is Cotton going to play on the line, on the offensive line?
The tackle.
And is his zone read going to be part of the offense still?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What were you looking at in 03 with Fisher?
What was I looking at? A guy who, like I said,
Well, I mean, what position?
Oh, it was at that time it was a linebacker job. He's a guy. He was just a guy that we talked to, and like I said, I've known him since in the football circles since '90, since I was at the New England Patriots.
Disassembling the staff. I mean, you announced it in February, mid-February, and a lot of times, I mean, just look across the landscape of college football. A lot of teams get it done in January. Is that how you expected it to play out?
That's exactly how I expected. It played out exactly how I wanted it to play out.
Are there any negatives to that?
No.
Coach, what do you see the big difference between the Big 12 and the Big 10 is, as far as competing in those two conferences?
I've spent a lot of time over the last month looking at, familiarizing myself with the Big 10 and some of the opponents, especially the early opponents who are going to play in the league. And there's a lot of similarities, there's some things that are different. It's probably not as multiple offensively. It's a physical brand of football, a little bit more of this is what we're going to do and we're going to do it well. You just don't have as much, one thing about the Big 12, week to week, you can kind of chuck out some of your game plans defensively and because you're playing a whole different type of offense. I mean, obviously there's always going to be some of that. It's not going to be quite as dramatic in the Big Ten as what we've faced, from a scheme standpoint in the Big 12.
Oh, if you have to run out the clock or we're going to want to drive to finish a game, will this offense be able to do that?
Oh yeah, we like I said, this offense is. I'm very excited about what we're doing, and how we're doing it, and it's going to be multiple, and it's going to involve a lot of different position groups, and but at the same time, there's going to be a simplicity in it that's going to give our football team, our players, an air of confidence where they have to learn the offense. And they have to know not just what to do, but why, and what's going on. Understand the concepts of what we're doing, and it's very logical. And so it's going to allow a lot of different guys to play, a lot of different position groups. There's going to be some spread to it. There's going to be some big sets to it. There's a lot of different things involved in it. and it's going to create a lot of problems for defenses. And that's how I look at it. I look at it for what can you do to give defenses problems. And trust me, we're putting together a scheme that's going to be able to take advantage of what other people are trying to do to us. We're going to be able to attack them.
So what was the element of simplicity missing then previously? Much of that?
Well, I just think it was, I don't know if you call it just simplicity. It was, like I said, it was how we got to some things that didn't quite marry up to, over time, to allowing us to have the best offense we could have. And that's about, in a nutshell, why I made the change.
Coach, when you look at your defense, you've got Crick and David and then Denner to guide each level of the defense. How big will that be to kind of go into the Big Ten with a potential All-American guy at each one of your level on defense?
Well, I mean, it's very good. We have a lot of guys back on defense, and we lost some good football players. Obviously, we lost Prince and Haig and Gomes and Pierre Allen. Those are some good football players. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but we feel really good about our depth coming back, the quality of our depth coming back on defense. We get Fish back, who we felt is a tremendous linebacker. I feel real good about where we are, and having those kinds of players. Fonzo, I think he's going to be as good a corner as there is in the country. Same with Crick and same with Avante, and you surround them with the type of talent that we have and the depth we have, and we have a chance to be pretty formidable on that side of the ball.
Are you sticking with the peso as your base?
We're going, that'll be part of our package, but just like always, we'll have the ability to play 3 linebackers, 2, 1, whatever we want to do. It's going to be, so you're not going to see, we were probably about 90% peso last year. We won't be that high.
Do you have another Eric Haig or DeJon Gomes? Guys that could be that versatile of your younger kids coming back?
Oh yeah, we have some guys that, we have a lot of versatility in our group, and a lot of guys that can do multiple things, and we're to the point defensively where, the coaches have done a good job. They have a really good understanding of our scheme, so it means that you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of guys that can do multiple things, and we're looking at some other things that we're real excited about moving along and in our schemes and doing some different things that we're excited about, and we're gonna pose some problems for some people. I'm excited about where we're headed defensively right now.
In a nuts and bolts sense, do you get the offense, all of it installed in the spring?
No, you just, like the same thing, you build you establish your foundation, and that's really the same thing we do defensively. You don't, because once you have the base principles, the base foundation, and then everything stems off of that, and it's kind of how it works. That's why I said it really marries up to how we teach, how we implement, and what we do on the defensive side of the ball, of where we're heading offensively.
Well, you've kind of ridden the momentum of good finishes the last couple of years into the following winter and spring. What's the other side of the coin with the bowl game this year? Is there some hunger with these guys? Have you seen a different mentality at all through the winter?
Oh yeah, there's no question. Our players, we've had a tremendous winter, and the guys have worked hard. They've been committed. They've done a lot of good things, and I'm excited about where they are. Trust me, no one on our football team, me included, are happy about how we finished off the season in that bowl game. So we'll, like I said, sometimes you get hit in the mouth. It's how it's how you respond to that, and we'll see. Looking forward to the challenges.
Taylor said after the bowl game that he wanted to become more of a leader on this team. What are you looking for from Taylor Martinez?
Just what he said, and he's had a good winter, as have a lot of guys, and I think we're heading in the right direction in a lot of different ways, and our guys understand. We're now into it, going into my 4th year, and guys, we got a lot of guys on our football team who've been hearing the same message over and over and over for going in the 4th year now. So it's running pretty smoothly right now. The leadership's there, the commitment's there, and I like where we are.
You spoke about the Big Ten, just the opponents that they're facing. Are you where you need to be as far as analyzing those guys, or do you still have work to do?
Oh, it takes time, and like I said, I usually don't start that process till a little bit later. I started earlier this year, as we all did, and but there's a lot of different things you're trying to do at this time of year. You all wonder why I haven't been available to talk to the media a lot. We actually do some work, and so there's getting the guys on, getting the coaches on the same page, moving ahead philosophically, X's and O's wise, all those things. Plus, on top of that, getting a jump on, on a different type of off season where we need to get ready for a lot of different opponents. So there's a lot of work to be done, and that'll continue on, not only up to spring ball but through spring ball. And so I've really enjoyed it. It's been a heck of an off season so far, and I expect that to continue as we move forward.
Well, what most excites you about changing conferences like this? I mean, you do it with the coaching change, leaving the SEC for the Big 12, but now staying with the team and changing conferences. Is there anything that gets you more excited about that?
No, I mean, like I said, it's a whole different set of challenges. Football's football. I've been coaching a long time, and I've seen a lot of, there's not a lot, there's not a lot you can do that and you look at the staff we have put together, there's not a lot you can do that we haven't seen before. So at the end of the day, you got to do what you do and do it well. And that's what we're focusing on, us right now. And the opponent part of it, that's for the coaches now to kind of get prepared for that and get a little jump on it, so we're prepared come next September.
Got time for one or two more?
Obviously, Coach, you hired somebody to replace Marvin Sanders, but how hard is it to lose a guy who's experience and just the way he coaches players and just his connection to you as a coach?
I love Marvin, and he had to do what he felt was the right thing to do for his personal and family situation at the time. And like I said, we've done a lot together. We've shared a lot together. We're good friends. We'll always be good friends, and I support him in the decision he made. But fortunately, I was able to go out and hire a football coach that I have a full and utmost confidence in and tremendous respect for. And so, football-wise, obviously, the personal side of it is, it's sad to see him go, and in football-wise, I feel like we got the guy that was best for our football team.